Bring your big toes together, knees apart wide, forehead down, and stretch your arms out in front. And just remember, throughout the class, child's pose is your resting pose. If you need to take a break or skip anything, you can always come back to your child's pose. Now start to find your Ujjayi breath, breathing in and out through your nose, slightly constricting the back of your throat so you can hear the sound of your breath. And make your inhales, exhales even longer so that breath sets the pace of the practice. We move with our breath. Walk your hands over to the right side of the mat. Place your left hand on top of the right. So you should feel a little stretch to the left side of your body. And then walk it over to the left side. Right hand goes on top of the left. Now bring it to center and come up to a tabletop position. Hands directly under the shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Inhale, drop the belly, arch your back, and gaze up, cow pose. Exhale, tuck your chin in and round your back for cat. Inhale as you arch, just warming up the spine. Exhale as you round. One more time. Inhale to arch. And exhale to round. Good, find a neutral spine. Let me just let someone else back into the class. Good, so find that neutral flat back there in your tabletop. And you're gonna go opposite arm and leg. So your right arm is gonna reach forward and your left leg reaches back so that you're using your core to balance. As you exhale, bring your knee and elbow into touch or as close as you can get it. Inhale to extend and reach. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale to extend. One more time. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Now you have two options. You can just hold it here and balance, or bend your leg, take your right hand, see if you can grab your left foot, and then kick it back and find a little back bend there. Nice. Stretch it back out and then place it down. And switch sides. Left arm, right leg. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. And one more time, knee to elbow. Then you extend it out and either hold it or bend your leg, grab your foot, kick it back, and find a little back bend. Then stretch it out, set it down. Now thread the needle, take your right arm, lift it up. Thread your right arm through, put your head down. Walk your left hand straight forward. Maybe crawl it a little bit to the right. Then bring it back in, tabletop. Switch sides. Peel the left arm up, thread it through, put your head down, walk the right hand forward, maybe walk it a little bit to the left. Then come back up tabletop, and now we'll move into our first downward facing dog. So plant your hands shoulder width, tuck your toes, lift your hips up. So feet are hips with distance, hands are shoulder width distance. And then that first one, you can move around. You can bend one leg at a time, stretching the calves, the hamstrings, noticing how your body feels, maybe bending one elbow at a time, just kind of checking in. When you're ready, you settle in by shrugging the shoulders away from the ears, pushing the chest back towards the thighs, pressing your heels towards the floor. Walk your feet up to the front of the mat to meet your hands. Ragdoll, feet stay hips width. Bend your knees and grab opposite elbows. And then just let yourself hang here, maybe shaking your head, yes and no, relaxing the neck. And then you can sway a bit side to side, shifting the body weight from the right foot to the left foot, or maybe swaying forward and back from the balls of the feet to the heels. And release your arms, roll yourself up to stand. And then when you get to the top, walk your feet together and bring your hands to prayer position. Sun Salutation A, Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, lengthen to a flat back. And then as you exhale, put your hands down, step to plank. And the first one we're gonna modify together. So you bring your knees to the floor, hug your elbows in, and slowly come all the way down to the floor. Modified chaturanga. Untuck the toes. Inhale, cobra pose. Just a small back bend. Then lower down. Good. Push up to your knees to that modified plank. Then you can tuck your toes under and go back to your downward facing dog. So as we move through Sun A again, just keep in mind, you can go back to that version on the knees at any point in class. You always have that option. Look at your hands and step both feet to the front. Inhale, lengthen to a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Now we use that flat back. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up to stand. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center to prayer position. Good. Again, Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step to plank. Now this time, if you want, you can stay on your toes or you can put your knees back down. Chaturanga, low push up, halfway down, elbows hug in. Flip over the feet. Inhale, up dog or cobra. So if you're in up dog, you're pushing down through the tops of the feet and the hands, and the knees are off of the floor. Exhale, lift your hips, flip back over your feet one at a time, downward facing dog. Look at your hands, step both feet to the front. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more time, sun salutation A, same thing. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step back to plank. Chaturanga, low push up, halfway down from the toes or the knees. Then inhale to your up dog or your cobra, finding your back bend. Exhale, down dog. Look forward, step your feet up to meet your hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good, now we're gonna practice our sun salutation B, Surya Namaskara B. The only difference is we add in chair pose and we add in warrior one. So reach the arms up first, bend your legs, Utkatasana. Knees and feet are all the way together when we're in our chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. This part is the same. Exhale, step to plank. Lower halfway down, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Lift your right leg up. Step it between your hands. Warrior one. Pivot your back heel flat on the ground. Turn it in 45 degrees. And then lift your arms straight up to the ceiling. So in our warrior one pose, our hips are square to the front, back heel is flat, toes are slightly turned in. Exhale, bring the hands right back down to the mat and step back. Chaturanga, low push up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Other side, lift the left leg up. Step it between your hands, warrior one. Pivot your right heel flat on the ground, set up the feet first, and then lift the arms up. Hips square to the front, really engage that back leg, it's nice and straight. Exhale, hands to the floor, step back, chaturanga, low push up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your feet to the front to meet your hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. From here, you bend your knees, chair pose. Reach the arms up. Then press up to stand, hands to prayer. One more time, the whole thing through, sun salutation B. Inhale, reach arms up. Bend your legs, chair pose, Utkatasana. Good, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step to plank, and then from the toes or the knees, chaturanga, low push up. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift the right leg up, step it between your hands, pivot your back heel flat. Warrior one, left foot is turned in 45 degrees, hips square to the front, arms straight up to the ceiling. Exhale, hands to the floor, step back, chaturanga, low push-up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Other side, lift the left leg up, step it forward. Warrior one, pivot your right heel flat, turn it in, square your hips, and lift your arms up. Exhale, hands to the floor, step back, chaturanga, low push-up. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Step your feet to the front, feet together. Inhale, flat back. Exhale and fold. Bend your knees, chair pose. Reach the arms up. Good, press all the way up to stand, hands to heart center. Very nice. Now, interlace your fingers behind your back, or you can take your strap and hold on to that behind your back. Separate your feet just hips width. Open the chest, slight bend to your knees, and fold forward with the hands interlaced. Relax your neck, open up the shoulders here and the chest. Good, release the fingers. Now, take your peace fingers, your first two fingers, try to grab your big toes. You might have to bend the knees to do so. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to fold. If you can, try to straighten the legs so you get more of a stretch in the hamstring. Relax your head and neck, let it just hang. Good, release the toes. Now walk your feet right back together. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, step back, chaturanga, low push-up. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Take a couple deep breaths here. Check in with your downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up, step it between your hands, but this time we're coming into crescent lunge. So you're gonna stay on the ball of your back foot, your heel is off the ground, and then lift your arms straight up to the ceiling. So crescent lunge is different than warrior one because of this back leg. The heel is off the ground. Now focus your gaze, start to lean forward, sweep your arms back, and then float the left leg up, airplane. So an airplane, your palms should be facing the floor, flexing that left foot, keeping the hips square and level. Then lower your hands all the way down, standing split. So as you come down, that leg might lift higher, but still keeping the hips square. Hands can be on blocks or on the floor, or maybe your right hand tries to grab the back of that right ankle, pulling your nose closer to that right leg. Now come back up to your fingertips. Carefully, we're going to step right back to crescent lunge. You're going to set the ball of the left foot down and then lift your arms back up, crescent lunge. Good. Open to warrior two. Pivot your back, heel down. So now your back foot is parallel to the back edge of your mat. Your hips and your chest, they face the side wall. Your arms are out like a T, and your gaze is at that right hand. And you want to keep a big bend in that right leg. You're aiming for that right thigh to almost be parallel to the floor. So you should have a pretty long stance, taking up most of your mat. Good. Keep your eyes on your right hand. Flip the palm up to the ceiling. Reverse warrior. Left hand on your left thigh. Reach your right arm backward, so it's a side body stretch. Then as you come forward, place your right elbow on the thigh, left arm straight up to the ceiling. Modified side angle. If you want to go a little deeper today, right hand can go on the floor or on your yoga block, or just the fingertips, and maybe reach your left arm towards the front of the room, extended side angle, bicep by your ear, palm facing down. Good, lift back up, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, windmill the hands down to the front and step back. Chaturanga, low push-up. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Other side, lifting the left leg up, step it forward. Crescent lunge. Start on the ball of the right foot, engage that leg, and then lift the arms straight up to the ceiling. So that back heel is off of the ground. Good, start to lean forward, sweep the arms back, then float that right leg up for your airplane. Flexing the right foot, palms face the ground, level off the hips. Standing splits, bring your hands to the floor or to blocks and start to bring your nose closer to that left leg as you lift that right leg up higher. Maybe the left hand grabs the back of that left ankle to get a little deeper into that stretch. Good, come up to your fingertips. Start to bend your left leg and then step your feet back first to crescent lunge. Once you got the feet set up, then lift your arms up. Nice. Open to warrior two by pivoting your back heel flat on the ground, arms out like a T. So your back foot is parallel to the back edge of your mat. Your left toes and left knee still point straight forward. You have a big bend in that left leg. Flip your left palm up to the ceiling. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Reach back, stretch the side body. Exhale to side angle. So now today you can either put the left elbow to the thigh, or you can go a little lower, left hand to the floor or block right next to your foot. That right arm can be up to the ceiling or reach it forward. Palm facing down, extended side angle. Lift back up, warrior two. Inhale as you reverse your warrior. Exhale, windmill the hands down to the front and step back. Chaturanga, low push up. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Then bring your knees down for a moment. We're gonna set up for dolphin pose. It's like down dog, but on your forearms. So come down to your elbows first, measure it out by grabbing your triceps. Then keep your elbows there and extend the forearms so that your palms are flat, middle fingers point forward, your forearms should look parallel. Keep those elbows down, tuck your toes, lift your hips up, dolphin pose. Just let your head hang, but try to actively push the floor away with your arms to keep your head off the ground. So really strong through the shoulders. Walk your feet together right in the middle, and you can hold it here or try lifting your right leg up without opening the hip and just holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switching legs, put the right foot down, lift the left leg up, keep holding your dolphin. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the foot, child's pose. Bring your knees down, reset, let your shoulders relax. Then come up to your tabletop. We're gonna do puppy pose. That's a good counter pose to dolphin pose because it helps to stretch our shoulders. So your hips will stay up like they are in your tabletop, but you start to walk your hands forward and either bring your forehead down or maybe your chin down and try to melt your chest to the floor. So you have a big arch in your back and you feel that stretch in your shoulders and your lats. Your hips stay up in the air. Good, walk it back in and then come back to your downward facing dog and reset in your down dog. Lift the right leg up, step it between your hands, coming back into your crescent lunge position, staying on the ball of the back foot as you lift your arms up. Now, earlier we did airplane. This time we're gonna do warrior three. We're gonna start by bringing the hands to prayer. Warrior three is similar to airplane, but they're a little bit different. Lean forward, float the left leg up, flex the foot. I want your back and your leg to try to make a T shape, and then you can either keep the hands in prayer, or for the full pose, you can try to reach your arms straight forward, biceps by your ears, so that you make that T shape in your body. You're ideally getting your arms, your back, and your leg all in a straight line. This is our warrior three, Virabhadrasana C. Now, when you go to step back, bring your hands to prayer first, bend your right leg, then step back and reset, crescent lunge. And just adjust if you didn't quite find where you wanted to land. Open to warrior two, pivot that back heel down. Now, for half moon, start to reach forward. Put your left hand on your hip, walk your right hand forward. You might have to walk that left foot in. You can use your block under your right hand. Remember, it has 3 heights. Then you lift the left leg up and now your hip is open. So in airplane and warrior 3, our hip was closed. It was square to the floor, but in half moon, the hip is open. Flex that left foot. When you feel like you've got your balance, reach your left arm straight up to the ceiling. So right hand on the floor or block, left arm up to the sky there, opening up the left hip. So your left flying toes point to the side wall. Your right standing toes still point straight forward. Carefully step back, warrior 2. And adjust if you need to, again, so that you land in that warrior 2. Just let someone else into the class. All right, now from warrior 2 position, straighten out your right leg. Bring your left foot in just an inch or 2. Shift your hips back and reach forward. Triangle pose. Right hand on the shin, ankle, or foot. Left arm straight up to the ceiling. So both legs are straight. So if you're having a hard time straightening that front leg, come up higher on the leg so you can get it straight. Good, lift your torso up. Come back to warrior 2. Walk your back foot out an inch or 2. Rebend that right leg, warrior 2 position. Flip your right palm up. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, windmill the hands down and step back. Chaturanga, low push up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Good, take a deep breath, reset in your down dog. Then we're gonna do that whole sequence on the other side. Lift the left leg up, step in between your hands, crescent lunge. Start on the ball of the back foot and reach the arms up. Bring your hands to prayer position at the center of your chest. Slowly lean forward and start to float the right leg up. Warrior 3. You can keep the hands in prayer or you can try reaching your arms straight forward. So you make that T shape with your body. Good. Bring your hands back to prayer. Bend your standing leg. Carefully step back. Reset the feet first in crescent lunge, then lift your arms up. Open to warrior 2. Pivot your back heel down. Line up heel to arch. Now start to look forward. Put your right hand on your hip. Walk your left hand forward. Maybe put that block underneath the left hand. Remember, left hand 6 to 8 inches in front of that left baby toe. Half moon. Lift the right leg up, keeping that hip open. Flex your foot a lot. Then peel the right arm up to the ceiling once you've got your balance. Focus your gaze on one point. You're aiming for the leg about parallel to the floor. No higher than that. Good, now carefully bend the standing leg. Take a big step back to your warrior 2. Adjust if you need to find that warrior 2 position. Straighten out your left leg. Walk your right foot in just an inch or 2. Shift your hips back, reach forward, triangle pose. Left hand on the shin, ankle, or foot. Right arm straight up to the ceiling. Creating length in both sides of the waist. Lift your torso back up. We'll come back to warrior 2 by walking the back foot out, rebending that front leg. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, windmill the hands down to the front. Step back, chaturanga, low push up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Lift your right leg up. This time, step it to the outside of the right hand, all the way at the edge of the mat. Put your back knee down for lizard pose. So your knee should be directly over your ankle. All 5 toes point forward. If you want to use your blocks, you can put your hands or elbows on blocks, or see if maybe you can get your elbows down on the inside of the foot without the blocks. And if not, if you don't have blocks, you can always just stay up on your hands. And press up to your hands, go back to down dog, no chaturanga this time, just reset in your down dog. And then we'll switch sides, lifting the left leg up, Step it to the outside of the left hand. Put your back knee down. Again, knee over ankle. All 5 toes point straight forward. Hands or elbows down, or maybe blocks on the inside of that left foot, stretching into your left hip, lizard pose. Right, press back up to your hands and then go back to your down dog. Step your feet to the front of your mat and roll up to stand, 1 vertebra at a time. Good, you're gonna step long ways on your mat, so your feet are parallel and a couple feet apart. If you wanna grab your strap, you can use your strap behind your back and hold on to it, or just interlace the fingers. Open up the chest, fold forward with the hands interlaced. Standing straddle forward fold with the hands interlaced behind your back. Open up the chest and the shoulders here. Then release the fingers, walk your hands through the legs, try to pull yourself through a little bit further. Walk your hands forward. Now we're gonna come down to our knees for frog pose. It's like a straddle splits, but from your knees. So you come to your knees and kind of wiggle them apart. And sometimes it might even help to use your hands to push the knees apart. Flex your feet and glance back. You wanna make sure that your ankle is in line with your knee and your hip is in line with your knee. So you see this nice 90-degree angle. Feet are flexed, toes point towards the front and the back walls, and then you try to come down to your elbows. So over time, you're trying to get the knees further and further apart. So you should mostly feel this in the inner thighs. And take a few more deep breaths here. Press up to your hands first. Then tuck your toes under, lift your knees, carefully walk back to about where you started on your mat with the feet in that straddle forward fold. Now take both hands, walk them to the left, grab onto your calf or ankle and pull your nose closer to the left leg. Walk your hands over to the right leg and pull your nose closer to the right. Good, back to center. Find a flat back. Put a little bend in both knees, hands to hips, slowly stand up. Now step back to the front. We're gonna work on a couple different balance poses. So I'm gonna back up just so you can see. First one I know you guys are familiar with, tree pose. Your right foot can go on the ankle, the calf, or up to the thigh. You decide, but really push your foot and leg into each other. You just wanna make sure you're not putting it on the knee because you don't wanna put that kind of pressure on the knee. So above or below the knee, hands to prayer. Focus your eyes on something that's not moving. If you wanna lift the arms up, you can also try reaching your arms straight up to the ceiling. Bring your hands back to prayer if you moved them, and then release that side. Shake it out and switch legs. Left foot on the calf, the ankle. Maybe you use your hand to help bring it up higher. Make sure you're not putting any pressure on the knee. Engage the standing leg. Maybe lift arms up, or maybe you keep the hands in prayer. Tree pose. Put hands back to prayer, release the foot. Now this next one is gonna look similar, but it's a little bit different foot position. Standing number 4 pose. Our right foot, instead of being on the thigh, is gonna go all the way across so that our legs look like a little figure 4. Then you bend your left leg like you're gonna sit into a chair. See if you can get your elbows or your forearms here to touch your shin. The more you bend your left leg, the deeper the stretch in the right hip. So it's a balance pose and it's a hip stretch. But if you bend the leg enough, maybe you can put your hands on the floor. You don't have to worry as much about the balance, but you can get more of a hip stretch. So take a few more breaths, either hands in prayer or hands on the floor. Your left leg is bent. Good, come up, switch legs, shake it out. Take your left foot across, make that figure four, flex the foot, hands in prayer to start. Bend your right leg and sit your hips back. And first, just work the balance here, focusing your gaze. If you get close enough to the floor, maybe fingertips or hands down to the floor, stretching into your left outer hip, keeping that right leg bent. So the more you bend the right leg, the deeper the stretch in that left hip. Good, come up, shake it out. One more balancing pose. This time we're gonna work on dancer pose. So we're gonna start to add a back bend into the balance. So your left arm lifts straight up to the ceiling. Your right hand's gonna grab your right foot or ankle, and you can go inside or outside, it doesn't matter. Start with your knees together and find your balance first. Then once you have your balance, start to kick that right leg up behind you to find that back bend. You'll tip a little bit forward, but keep reaching that left arm up. Good, release that side and switch sides. Right arm lifts up, left hand to your left foot or ankle. Find your balance first and then slowly lift that left leg up, dancer pose. Good, release, and then meet at the top of your mat and bring your hands and feet together. Last chaturanga, inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, step back to plank. One last chaturanga, low push up. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now we're gonna set up for our pigeon pose. Sometimes it's called half pigeon or one leg pigeon. Lift your right leg up, bend the knee as you bring it forward and put your right knee behind your right wrist. Then slide your left leg back. So your left leg is straight. As if you're doing the splits, your right leg is bent. Your right knee directly in line with the hip. The foot, make sure you're not sitting on the right foot. Just wiggle it a little to the side so you're not sitting on it. And then you can fold forward over that front leg, stretching into your hip here. Walk your hands in. And we're just gonna go back to down dog in between sides. You can lift that right leg up if you want. Open the hip, bend the leg. Maybe draw a couple circles with the ankle or the whole leg, just creating some space in the hip. And then we'll reset in our downward facing dog. Switching sides, lifting the left leg up. Bring that knee forward for your half pigeon. Left knee behind the left wrist. Slide that right leg back. Kind of wiggle it as far back as you can. So again, the left leg is bent. The right leg is straight. Your hips are square to the front. And then you try to fold over that front leg, bringing your forehead to the floor, or you can always use your block too if your forehead doesn't reach the floor. Walk your hands in. One last down dog. Again, shake out that left leg, three-legged dog, bend the leg, maybe draw some circles, move it around, and then just settle into that last down dog and notice how your body feels here compared to your first down dog. Notice how the backs of the legs feel. Okay, we'll step to the front, have a seat, and extend your legs out straight in front of you. If you want to use your strap, you can to put it around your feet. Or you can just, without the strap, sit up tall, flex your feet, and fold forward. Either grabbing your legs, the feet, the wrist, the strap, whatever you can find there. Keep the feet flexed, and then drop your head, relax your neck. Okay, slowly come up. Now, depending on your space, you might want to face the side, the front. It's up to you, but we're going to go into a straddle split. So wherever you have enough space to open your legs out wide into a V, lift your hips up, really try to wiggle those legs apart, flex your feet. Take your right hand, try to grab your right foot, but if you can't reach, just grab onto the leg, and then take your left arm over your ear so that it's a side body stretch in that straddle splits. Okay, take it to the other side, reach up and over towards that other foot. Okay, now as you come up, keep the feet flexed and the toes going straight up to the ceiling, and then walk your hands forward as far as you can fold. Again, maybe a couple inches or all the way down, wherever you go, just hold it. Bring your forehead maybe down if it reaches. Stretching into your inner thighs, inner hamstrings, seated straddle splits. Walk your hands back in, carefully shake out your legs. Butterfly, soles of the feet come together, so still stretching the inner thighs. Pull your feet in, hold on to the ankles. Use your elbows to press the inner thighs down and then try to fold. Now you can keep holding the ankles and using those elbows if that feels good, or you can just try to walk your hands forward and fold. And slowly come up. Take your left leg, extend it all the way out straight and flex the foot. Then take your right foot, step it across the left thigh for a seated twist. So have the right knee pointing up. Your left arm can either hug that right thigh or try to take your elbow all the way to the outside of it. Right fingertips on the floor behind you, and then really try to lengthen the spine and sit up tall as you come into that seated twist. And now as you untwist, keep your left leg where it is, but move your right foot next to that left thigh. So it kind of looks like your tree pose. If it bothers your knee, you can move it further down towards the calf instead of the thigh. Sit up tall, flex your left foot, and then fold forward. Seated head to knee pose is what it's called, but if you can reach your forehead to your shin instead of your knee, go for that. Slowly come up, and then we'll switch sides. Starting with a twist first, extend your right leg straight. Step your left foot across flat on the floor. Your right arm can hug the knee or hook your elbow to the outside of that thigh. Left fingertips behind you, lengthening your spine, sitting up tall as you twist. Now as you untwist, keep your right leg straight. Move your left foot next to the thigh or the calf. Flex the foot, sit up tall, and then fold forward, grabbing your foot or using your strap, or maybe just grabbing the leg, bringing your nose towards your knee or your shin. Then slowly come up, and now we're gonna roll down onto our back. And once you roll down, place your feet on the floor, hips width distance apart for your bridge pose. First one, I just want your hands right next to your hips. Lift the hips up and then hold it. So you're engaging the glutes and the hamstrings to help you. Palms just pressing down into the floor. And stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Roll yourself back down. Now we're gonna add on. You can stay there though if you want with the hands flat, or lift the hips back up, but this time try to interlace your fingers together. Then take your shoulders and really shimmy them underneath you. Wiggle your shoulders underneath you so you feel like you get a deeper chest opening. You're actively pushing down through the arms to lift the hips. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Unlace, slowly come down, lying down butterfly, soles of the feet together. So just like that seated butterfly stretch, but laying on the floor. So that gravity kind of helps open up the hips, help bring that natural curve back to the spine. We always do this one after the back bends because it helps to reset the spine. You can have your arms on the floor, on the stomach, maybe overhead in a diamond shape, anything that feels good to you. Happy baby pose. Grab for the inside edges of your feet. Now, if you can't reach your feet, you can also just hug behind your knees. Lengthen your tailbone on the floor so you're flattening out your back. Flex your feet and actively push down with your hands. You're trying to feel like you're pushing your knees to the floor on the outside of the ribs there. So you feel a little stretch in your hips. And then you can add a little rock side to side and massage your back and maybe tapping one knee at a time on the floor. Good. When you're ready, hug both knees right back into your chest. Keep your right knee hugging in, straighten the left leg out. Squeeze your right knee over to the right shoulder first. Then open your right arm out like a T. Use your left hand and twist your right knee across your body as close to the floor as you can. Spinal twist. Equally pushing the right shoulder down and the right knee down. Then maybe turn your gaze to the right and look at that right hand if that's okay on your neck. Bring everything to center. Hug both knees into your chest, neutralizing the spine in between sides. Then we'll keep just the left knee in, extend the right leg out. Squeeze your left knee over to your left shoulder first. And open your left arm out like a T. Use your right hand, twist that left knee across your body and all the way over to the floor. Also still trying to keep the left shoulder down if you can. And turn your head and your gaze and look over to the left. Spinal twist. And bring everything back to center. Give both knees one more squeeze. Wrap your arms around your shins, curling up into a tight little ball. Bring your forehead up to your knees. Give yourself a big hug, and then let it go. Coming into Shavasana, our final relaxation. Extending the legs out long and just letting the feet fall open. Arms relaxing alongside you, palms facing up. Take your shoulders, try to shrug them down away from the ears to help keep your neck long. As you close your eyes, clear away all of your thoughts. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Exhale all the air out the mouth, letting it go, and just letting your muscles relax even deeper into the floor. Slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, bringing some small movements back to your body. Maybe drawing a couple circles with the wrists and ankles, moving them in both directions. Maybe gently moving the head a little bit side to side. Anything that feels good to you. When you feel ready, reach the arms overhead, reach the legs long, create that nice full body stretch, getting as tall as you can. Then hug both knees into your chest and roll over to one side, coming into a fetal position. Keep your eyes closed. Use your hands to help press you all the way up into a comfortable seated position. Crossing the legs, sitting up nice and tall. Bring your hands together at heart center, Anjali Mudra. And you take a couple last deep breaths here, scanning your body, noticing how it feels after today's yoga practice. Take one more nice deep inhale through your nose. Exhale all the air out the mouth, letting it go. Lift your hands to your forehead, your third eye center, and bowing forward. Namaste.